Media Group.
13 has been my lucky number for a while. Like, it's always a sign of good things to come for me.
This is 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast, breaking down every song, every Easter egg, every era, and every theory. Hosted by the biggest Swifties, Nick Adams, Anna Szabo, Amy Nichols, and Lacey G.
Welcome to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. I'm Nick Adams.
I'm Anna.
And I'm Lacey G.
And Amy is
on a cruise.
She's on a cruise. She's recovering from Swifties in the city.
She is.
She needed a little break. She needed to get out of the country. But we will dedicate a whole show to talking about Swifties in the city. But this is our first time back in the studio together since we did Swifties in the city.
Yeah.
And it was such a blast.
It was
amazing.
Incredible. Not to sound cocky, but you know how people after the Eras tour said like they had amnesia and couldn't just remember everything that happened? That's how I felt with Swifties in the city because it was so much fun, but then it was so fast. And I feel like I'm still trying to relive everything that happened at Swifties in the city.
Yeah, I'm really, really proud of it. Like, I'm really proud of what we put on, the event we put on, just the way everything went on. And like Nick said, we're going to do an entire episode kind of dedicated to it because I feel just very thankful for all the people that were involved with it, all the people that came out, things like that. So, but yeah, overall, I'm very proud of it. It's crazy to work so hard on something for them to just end. Like,
it's over, done.
How does Taylor Swift feel after the Eras tour? Because this was our Eras tour.
That's why she has to go home and sign 200 CDs and order a bunch of room service. I mean, did anybody else have to do that after Swifties in the city, or was it just me?
I had Whataburger.
I think I just went straight to sleep. I was so tired, but like in a really good way. In a really, really good way.
No, it was so much fun, and we couldn't have done it without all of you. So thank you to all of our lobsters, all of our Swifties who came out. Thank you to all of our incredible vendors that always make the events so unique and so much fun. And I had a blast with everybody. It was such an incredible time. Thank you to Charity Eden for coming out and performing. Thank you for all the familiar faces that we got to see and the new ones that we got to meet. It was truly incredible. And Anna.
Yeah.
You looked incredible.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So did you guys.
Incredible. Anna, you looked great. Nick, your shirt, hilarious.
Thank you.
Hilarious.
Thanks.
It was a really, really good time, y'all.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, again, we will dedicate an entire episode to Swifties in the city. This is also the first time that we're in studio since The Life of a Showgirl came out. Like, besides our live stream party and then our drunken episode that follows. But since we're on our song breakdowns, our last 2 or 3 song breakdowns we had recorded before the album came out, but knowing the episodes would drop after the album came out. And we had all said like, oh yeah, my favorite song is whatever.
I don't even remember what I said.
So I went back and listened because we were getting some messages from people being like, oh my God, it was crazy when you guys pulled the curtain back because it sounded like you knew exactly what you were actually talking about. And I thought it was so funny. Like, Lacey did such a good job. She was talking about eldest daughter and like related it to like your sister and all this stuff. And we're just like, oh my God. And then I think there was another one.
Oh, Anna's not giving herself credit because by far the best, we did predictions that were going to age badly. And Anna said, I cannot believe wood is actually about a tree. That was hilarious. And all the memes that have come out since then about Taylor Swift and her folklore era, admiring the trees. Yeah. I've seen memes. Are we out of the woods yet? Nope, we bouncing on them.
That's funny. That's funny. So I guess currently today, what's everyone's favorite song on Showgirl?
Opalite. Opalite for sure.
Yeah.
It's going to be very hard to top that one for me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm through to my core. Elizabeth Taylor is my number one. I think all the other songs are competing for number 2, but there's something about Elizabeth Taylor. I've also just gone down like a rabbit hole learning about Elizabeth Taylor, so I like cannot wait until we enter our Showgirl era so we can talk about.
Oddly enough, Elizabeth Taylor is the only song that doesn't resonate with me. That
really?
Doesn't mean, I mean, I love it, and it's a super sexy song, and it's not a skip. It's just not an earworm for me. It's not the one that I keep on going back to. I have all the love for it, but Father Figure.
The bridge
and Father Figure, I have to scream that hardcore with all of my windows down and my sunroof back. And I love, she's known for the flip of the bridge.
Yeah.
But how beautiful and well-spoken is that? And I love the fact that, yes, she is using shocking language, but she is using it correctly. I mean, she's making a very valid point.
Oh, 100%.
Not just, And I think that's beautiful.
I do think that the bridge and father figure is probably the best part of the entire album. Like,
Ooh,
if we're breaking
statement.
it down by parts and not by like song, like entirety, there's something about the father figure bridge that it's like the best 20 seconds out of the 44 minutes.
Because this empire belongs to me.
It's just so
I've got
good.
the place surrounded. Just knowing that you're making a threat, but it's not an empty threat because everything that you're saying is absolutely correct. And that is power.
It's great.
The one thing that I really am loving about The Life of a Showgirl right now is just how consumable it is.
Yeah.
Like the Tortured Poets Department, it's quite a daunting task
Thick.
to listen to all of that. It's kind of dense. There's a lot of big words.
Yeah.
And there's just a lot of songs. But this one, it's just so easy to get through. And then it's like, oh, I could start this over again and listen to it more.
It's so easy to listen to it on repeat. I'm at the point now where I'm listening to it on shuffle. That's how I know I am familiar with an album when I start listening to it on shuffle. So I'm already there.
But there's so many questions and theories that I have that we will definitely get into later. But one thing that I keep going back to is why Taylor Swift has called this the perfect album and says that this is exactly what she's been wanting to say. Now, I do think it's the perfect album. Why does she think it's the perfect album? And that's something that I have gone back to and I have so many different theories on.
Yeah, I do think, I mean, I'm not answering for her, but when you ask the question, I think of, there was a music critic that pointed out that this is the first album, this is the first body of work from Taylor where she's not questioning if she's good enough. And I think that speaks volumes, absolute volumes. 12 tracks, 12 incredible tracks, but as an entirety, it's a moment in her life where she wasn't questioning if she was good enough for the career that she's in, for the people around her, for herself. You know what I mean? And so I think that hits so hard. When I read that, I listened to the album differently. And I thought that was really cool.
And I don't disagree with that, but the one burning question that I have is this the album that she's always wanted to make because she owns her masters and now she's repaying other artists by giving them song credits that's going to the estate rather than going to the person who owns the masters.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So that's why. Like, I know she's very poignant with everything that she says, and I want to know her exact reason for calling this the perfect album.
And I got to say, just as a little programming note, whenever we are going to, at some point, rank our favorite songs, like we would do track ones, our favorite track ones, favorite track five, stuff like that, we need to do favorite final songs.
Ooh.
I don't want to give a spoiler alert to what I would probably pick as what the best final song of the album is.
Yeah.
But the final song on this album is just so great.
It's
The Life of a Showgirl.
excellent.
I mean, it is a great closing song to an album.
Mm-hmm.
We got to do that at some point.
It does have ties to the song that we're breaking down today as well, Marjorie.
Yes. Let's move on to Marjorie.
Back to our Evermore era.
That's right. Yeah.
Everyone put on your flannel.
Get it on. Okay. So we're breaking down track number 13, Marjorie. It was written by Taylor Swift and Aaron Dessner. And we all know that this is a homage. It's a tribute to her grandmother, Marjorie,
So
who
beautiful.
was an opera singer. And it's really great. I absolutely love this song. For me, it's a song that it grows on me more and more every time I listen to it. When it first came out, I wasn't crazy about this song. I just didn't jive with it at first.
Mm-hmm.
But then the older I get, every year that passes, I feel like this song just means more and more to me. Just remembering those people who I've been lucky enough to have in my life that are no longer with me anymore. And so I just absolutely love hearing this song.
I definitely agree that I think this song gets better as you get older. And I think there's a lot, and we'll get into the lyrics, but I think there's a lot of lyrics that are so well written. Of course, it's Taylor Swift, but so well written in the way that you kind of put yourself in the mentality of like a child, but also an adult at the same time. So I agree that the older you get, the better the song is and the better the messaging is. Something I also found, which I think is just so Taylor Swift, but this is track 13 on Evermore. Track 13 on Folklore is Epiphany, which is in part inspired by her grandfather. So it's like kind of like, I mean, we know that Folklore and Evermore are sister albums, but I feel like that really, really ties it in such like a little nod.
And it's cool learning so much about Marjorie Finlay because I just knew, like Nick said, of her being an opera singer. I didn't realize everything that she had done, winning talent contests. She went to college at a time that not a lot of women went to college. So that's something even willpower that she was working through. Had a variety show in Puerto Rico for a long time, was very, very loved in South America. They wanted an American girl who could relate to all the other people. But she had horrible Spanish, but people thought that was like very cute of her. She wasn't trying to not understand the language. She just didn't get it, but it was still relatable to the audiences. And they just loved her. And she passed away whenever Taylor Swift was 13. And is this where Taylor got her talent, her creativeness from? I mean, you definitely have stuff like that in the family. My grandfather was a brilliant artist and piano player and musician. He could do everything. We didn't get any of that talent. My sister got all of it. All of it. She is artistic. She's musical. I mean, I just look at her and I'm like, how does it feel to have all the talent in the family? You really got all of it.
And now we should make sure that everyone knows is that this is Taylor's mom's mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This
Maternal
is Andrea's
grandmother.
mom. Just so everyone knows.
Yes.
We're all on the same page.
Yes, very important.
Oh boy, another trip to the vet, another diagnosis, another expensive treatment that may or may not even work. You're back in the treatment room. Your dog is shaking with anxiety, and you're shaking because you don't know how much this vet is going to cost.
It is an ongoing problem when you've got an itchy dog and you're worried, is it allergies? Is it what they're eating? Most canine health problems share one common root cause, and that's a weakened immune system, often from years of eating dead processed foods. And that's why naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black created Rough Greens. It breaks the vet visit cycle with live nutrients your dog needs to thrive from the inside out.
You know, and there's a reason that it's known as America's #1 dog supplement. Thousands of pet parents are getting off the vet visit merry-go-round and seeing the difference. And right now, you can try it for yourself with a free Jumpstart trial bag. Just cover the shipping. Because the best doctor visit is the one that you don't have to make.
Go to roughgreens.com and use the promo code TaylorSwiftFan to break the cycle today.
Again, that's roughgreens.com and use the promo code TaylorSwiftFan to break the cycle today.
Taylor talked about this in the Apple interview with Zane Lowe.
So let's hear Taylor talk about the song Marjorie.
Which is, you know, for anyone who has lost a member of their family and felt like there was something unresolved in terms of wisdom or experience or time spent, because we take time for granted, we really do, as people, until it's too late or we lose it. What was the experience like writing that song?
The experience writing that song was really surreal because, you know, I was kind of a wreck at times writing it. I'd sort of break down sometimes. It was really hard to actually even sing it in the vocal booth without sounding like I had sort of a break, because it just was really emotional. I think that one of the hardest forms of regret to sort of work through is the regret of being so young when you lost someone that you didn't have the perspective to learn and appreciate who they were fully. You know, you didn't have that sort of, you know, I'd open up my grandmother's closet and she had beautiful dresses from the 60s. I wish I'd asked her where she wore every single one of them.
Yeah.
So, things like that. She was a singer and my mom will look at me so many times a year and say, God, you're just like her. When I'll, you know, some mannerism that I don't recognize as being anyone other than mine.
And it's really hard, that thing, because parents, they hand that down to you as a gift. That's a very common thing to say about family members. It's ultimately a gift. It's like, you remind me of your grandmother or whatever. But what it does is it continues to pique your interest in why. I can't get an answer why, really, because they're not here for me to find that out, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, she died when I was 13, and she died almost, I think it was when I was on a trip to Nashville to try and make it and to try to hand out my demo CD to record labels and things like that. So there were pretty insane coincidences like that. And, I've always felt that thing, like I've always just sort of felt like she was seeing this, because we have to sort of do that. But one of the things about this song that kind of still rips me apart when I listen to it is that she's singing with me on this song.
How did that happen?
My mom found a bunch of her old records, a bunch of old vinyls of her singing opera, and I sent them to Aaron, and he added them to the song. And
wow.
So it says, if I didn't know better, I think you were singing to me now. And then you hear Marjorie actually sing, my grandmother. And it's moments like that on the record that just make you feel like your whole heart is in this whole thing that you're doing. It's all of you that you put into these things.
Isn't that sweet?
That made me tear up a little listening to her talk about it.
And I got to say, one of my favorite parts of the Eras tour was when she did perform this song. And it was so great that here she is performing with her grandmother in front of sold-out stadiums all over the world.
It's beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful?
It's
oh my gosh, it's
beautiful.
So great. And she writes her grandmother's name in the air while
and you can
she's
see it.
performing.
It's so
beautiful.
It's so cool. And it's so interesting, how she was saying that her mom would look at her and be like, oh my God, you're just like her. My dad says that. My dad's dad, my grandfather on my dad's side, he passed when we were really young. And my little brother, he was 5 at the time. And as my little brother would get older, my dad would say that all the time. He was like, you are just like your grandfather. And I have to imagine, that's got to be an interesting feeling, for that person. Nick, do you ever see, your parents in your kids? Or, any sort of,
Sure.
resemblance and mannerisms?
Absolutely.
Interests?
And it is crazy, but it's also like, oh, wow, look at this. Look at this family tree.
That's so
we are
cool.
continuing. It's so neat.
And it's weird, like Taylor said, some of the mannerisms that people have, because my grandmother, out of everything I inherited from her, my grandmother, whenever she was thinking, would stick her tongue out. And I do that all the time. And it's an unintentional thing. I'm not trying to be like my grandmother. How is that a family trait that we stick our tongue out whenever we're thinking? I don't know, but I feel like my grandmother every time that I do it, because I know she used to do it.
That's really cute.
Mm-hmm.
That's really precious.
Should we get to some lyrics here?
Let's get into them.
All right, Taylor starts off by singing, "Never be so kind, you forget to be clever. Never be so clever, you forget to be kind." So we're starting off with some life advice from
For
Grandma.
sure.
A life lesson.
That is words to live by. Absolutely. And the type of, advice that you would get from an older person,
Someone who is wise.
Yeah, an older woman too. I feel like this really just, I don't know. As a woman, you grow up being told that you have to be nice, you have to be polite, you can't be rude, and even in dangerous situations, I feel like a lot of girls' reactions, if somebody's being creepy, it's like, oh, I'm going to be nice because I don't want them to hurt me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it's never be so kind that you forget to be clever as well.
Which that's a really good point, Anna. That is something that you have to teach people in general, that you don't have to be nice to somebody, that it is your job to shut it down and get it away. I've been in situations like that with other girlfriends, and I'm like, why did you even entertain that? Not saying it's their fault, but I mean, you have to know that the answer is no, and I'm not going to sit here and be polite as you're giving me the ick.
Yeah, and there's even times just I don't know, I don't want to say in passing, but when somebody in the room says something that I kind of almost register, I don't react to it because I don't want to be rude, but I'm clever enough to clock it. You know what I mean? So it's
sure.
I kind of, I don't know, in those moments, I think of that. But it also, I saw someone that pointed out that it kind of echoes the sentiment from, do you remember the interview that Taylor did with Elle Magazine, the 30 lessons before she turned 30?
Is that the one where has the jean jacket and it's got all the buttons on it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 30 lessons before turning 30. And so Taylor wrote out 30 different lessons. And one of them says, being sweet to everyone all the time can get you in a lot of trouble. While it may be born from having been raised to be a polite young lady, it can contribute to some of your life's worst regrets if someone takes advantage of this trait in you. Grow a backbone, trust your gut, and know when to strike back. Be like a snake, only bite if someone steps on you.
Okay.
Yeah. But I thought that was kind of like along the same sentiments of, never be so kind you forget to be clever, but never be so clever you forget to be kind.
Absolutely.
Which is very smart, because some of the times I felt the most stupid in my life was whenever I got taken advantage of by somebody that I thought I could and it's like, wow, why does this keep happening to me? Why am I putting my trust in wrong people?
Yeah. And then to go back to father figure, you mistake my kindness for weakness.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor continues by saying, and if I didn't know better, I'd think you were talking to me now. If I didn't know better, I'd think you were still around.
Oh.
And yeah, that's kind of like, is that the feeling where, like, I can really feel someone's presence in this moment at different times?
Yeah, I think it's like a form of grief.
Yeah.
Like when you see something that reminds you of someone, or you
Mhm.
hear something, you're like, how a lot of people take signs, like, oh, when I hear a certain song, it reminds me of my friend, she must be
Right.
looking down on me, like that kind of
Yep.
that kind of thing.
And I have dreams about my grandparents. And in my dreams, anytime I see them, I always know that I'm really, really happy to see them. But it's not until I'm awake that I realize, oh, I'm really happy to see you because you've actually been dead for a long time. So I feel like sort of a reconnection in my dreams, because it's normally something good and something happy. And even though it's just a dream, I still feel them in that moment.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, my grandparents are here. They're visiting me, because it's always a happy moment. It's never, man, I'm so sad you're dead. Instead, it's just, I miss you, and I'm so happy to see you.
Aw.
And then Taylor gets into the chorus and she says, what died didn't stay dead. What died didn't stay dead. You're alive in my head. What died didn't stay dead. What died didn't stay dead. You're alive, so alive. And I guess that's kind of our duty as someone who has loved someone in the past. Like, it's up to us to keep their memory alive.
Yeah.
It's up to me to talk to my kids about my grandparents and things like that. And you keep those people alive in your head and your conversation and stuff like that. And it's kind of like they did leave you, but it's like they didn't leave you.
Right.
Yeah.
And I like through, like you said, through memories, through stories, through objects, heirlooms, lessons also. I feel like that's kind of touched on in this song too.
Yeah. Ready or not, the holiday season is here, ladies. Have y'all started Christmas shopping yet? You better.
But I started decorating.
Okay, good. That's a start.
Yeah, because Wayfair is the place to shop for all things home. Everything from sofas to spatulas, you name it, they have it. I actually have a couple of just like holiday throw pillows sitting in my cart right now.
I haven't started doing my holiday shopping yet, because I have some holiday decor, but I've been getting into their lights. I got new lights for my kitchen and for my dining room, and they look stunning. They are so beautiful. I love the style and the affordability that Wayfair has to offer.
And guess what? You can get it all for 70% off during Wayfair's Black Friday sale.
What?
Oh, love that.
Starting October 30th, you can shop Wayfair's can't miss Black Friday deals all month long. Plus, you can sit back and relax with Wayfair's fast and easy shipping just in time for the holidays.
Don't miss out on early Black Friday deals. Head to wayfair.com now and shop Wayfair's Black Friday deals for up to 70% off. That's WAYFAIR.com. Sale ends December 7th. She continues by saying, never be so polite, you forget your power. Never wield such power, you forget to be polite.
I feel like that is such a testament to Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Like all encompassing. She continues to become more and more successful with every single passing day. And I've seen so many videos of people being like, Taylor Swift is much better than I am, because I would like, when has Taylor Swift actually had like a crash out? You know what I mean?
Which it would be valid at times if she
It would
did.
be so valid. It would be so valid. But she, like, it's like never wield such power, you forget to be polite. Like she kind of knows her ground.
Yep.
And I'm sure she does have her crash out moments in private, but there are so many times like in the internet age that we're in right now where it's like somebody will just I get so angry, post something, delete it later. But that's never happened.
She's never had a string of 100 foul-mouthed tweets or something getting back at her people. No, it's fine. And she's had every opportunity. She's gotten especially over the last 5 years. Like she's always been big, but last several years, her, name has just exploded in popularity.
Yeah.
Where if she wanted to, she could wield her power and not be nice. But
she could.
As she's gotten more power, she continues to stay nice.
Yeah.
But they say, she visits a lot more hospitals than we ever know about. She does so much stuff seeming so genuine that we know about because other people say it. She just paid off I'm sorry, I don't have it in front of me.
Someone's GoFundMe she paid off, right?
Yeah,
yes.
just completely paid it off. They didn't even tag her in the video. It's just something she happened to see about a mom being a Swiftie, and this is getting me through my child's cancer treatments. And she turns around and pays for it. She took care of everybody on the Eras tour. And you don't have to do that. You don't have to, just because you have a bunch of money doesn't mean it's your obligation to give it to other people. She's given it to food banks as she goes through. She's inspiring other Swifties. Like I know Tess doing the live stream. She started donating, having GoFundMes up on the live stream and then knocking those out just because Swifties care and want to be genuine and caring like Taylor Swift. And that's just always a good lesson.
Yeah. And I also think about on the Showgirl, the poems that are in all the vinyls. There's 5 total, but if you put them together, basically makes one prologue to the album. And there's a line in the Shiny Bug version that says, "Let the wolves howl all they want. The moon should never howl back." And I've seen a lot of Swifties use that lately with like any just absurd criticism from Showgirl. And a lot of people were like, oh, why isn't Taylor speaking up about it? Why isn't she like whatever? And a lot of Swifties in the comments will be like, because the moon should never howl back, which I think is very interesting and very cool way to kind of just like say that, like, because again, Taylor's not having these like public crash outs, even though it would be totally valid for some stuff.
I wonder if we'll see any Swifties getting wolf tattoos.
Ooh.
A wolf in front of a moon tattoo, and everyone will be like, what? How is that related to Taylor Swift?
And that's so cool because
in the prologue of the Shiny Bug edition.
No, that is so niche. I actually love it. I'm gonna do that.
It's your next Halloween costume if you need one.
Well, and eldest daughter, every eldest daughter was the first lamb to the slaughter, so we all dressed up as wolves and we looked fire. So that's another wolf one. You could do a fire wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then if you're with a group of friends, they could be a lamb with like a bloody neck or something. Great Halloween costume.
Yeah.
I don't know about tattoo. that seems a little graphic.
Taylor continues in Marjorie. And if I didn't know better, I'd think you were listening to me now. If I didn't know better, I'd think you were still around. And then she goes into the chorus again. What died didn't stay dead. What died didn't stay dead. You're alive in my head. What died didn't stay dead. What died didn't stay dead. You are alive, so alive.
It really just puts like a little like knot in my throat.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Like gets me choked up.
Mm-hmm. She continues into the bridge.
Oh, this is so beautiful.
The autumn air that wakes me up. You loved the amber skies so much. Long limbs and frozen swims, you'd always go past where our feet could touch.
That's such, like, I think I love that so much because she's talking, we know that her grandmother passed when she was 13. And so I feel like this is such a good way to think of it's such a poetic way to think of a memory, but you're writing it almost from the perspective of a 13-year-old, Mm-hmm. Like you'd go past where our feet could touch. Like that's such a poetic way to say that, like, this adult is taller than me,
right,
and can reach deeper parts of the pool than I can. But like, who says that? Add that to our list of a normal person would say versus what Taylor Swift would say.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And same with like long limbs, like when you're
limbs.
That was good, Nick. That was good.
That was good, and that was quick.
Thank you.
That was wow. That was good. But yeah, same, like long limbs, like that's something you think as a child because it's like, oh, this person's tall.
I remember as a kid seeing like my uncles and grandparents just being so tall, or my cousins or something, and now I'm the same height as them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as a kid, they were so tall.
Yeah. I sometimes when I see like little kids running around and I'm like, oh, to view the world from that height.
Yeah, you're just looking at everyone's butt. I mean, you're like butt height the whole time, right?
Yeah, it's true.
You are.
The way Taylor Swift says stuff, the way Nick Adams says stuff, you're just looking at butts.
I know. Oh, to be a kid again.
Also, the long limbs makes me think of
Long limbs.
makes me think of children whenever they're growing, and so you're all arms and legs at that point.
Yeah, you get real lanky.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So I mean, I think that's really. I took that as describing the age.
Yeah.
Long limbs
Agree.
and frozen swims.
Mm-hmm.
And frozen swims also like, ooh, the water's so cold.
Right. Don't just get in. It's
Oh
fine.
no, it's so
fine.
cold. The water's so cold.
But the parents and the grandparents are like, it's cold, but I'll suck it up and go swimming with them anyway.
Yep.
Yeah. And I feel like you have this moment, in life when your friends start having kids, when you start having kids and stuff, when you realize that like you are the people that create the magic for the kids. Like you're creating these memories for these kids. Like when you have that, I feel like when you have that realization, it's just like such a turn.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm the only parent in the room here. I mean, like you do have to think about those things.
Yeah.
When it's like, when you're really tired, but your kid wants to play catch with you, like you can't say no.
Mm-hmm.
If, I don't know, if it's your opportunity, you have a lazy Saturday, like let's go do something. Let's like make fun happen.
Yeah.
You just have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And especially around the holidays and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's really a lot of pressure on moms to make the magic happen.
To make the magic
Yeah,
happen.
absolutely.
Because then those become the core memories.
Absolutely. Taylor continues in the bridge. The car ride back and up the stairs, I should have asked you questions. I should have asked you how to be.
She said I complained the whole way there.
Oh, sorry. Did I miss a line?
I complained the whole way there, the car ride back and up the stairs, which kind of seems like we have to go to grandma's house.
Yep.
I mean, Mom,
Absolutely.
I'm over here hanging out with my friend and now I have to go to grandma's house. And then you go and you have a blast while you're there. Then you're running up and down the stairs and you're having fun. Grandma is there making sure that you're having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in this song of reflection and remembrance, you think like, man, why was I complaining so much? Like, I should have asked you questions. Instead of complaining, hey, Grandma, what was your favorite birthday present you ever got? Like, you should ask those questions.
But then that's so hard because it's like you regret it when it's too late.
I know.
But at the same time, you were 13, you were a kid. So it's like you can't be too hard on yourself, right?
Right. I should have asked you how to be, asked you to write it down for me. Should have kept every grocery store receipt because every scrap of you would be taken from me.
That makes me cry. Because that's like a grocery store receipt is such a throwaway item. That's such a small, little, tiny detail. So for her to think of that, like, oh, I should have kept that because it had your handwriting on it, like that's so poetic.
And I don't know if any of y'all have had this situation come up where if you're, not necessarily even if your grandparent has passed, but if someone actually has passed and you're cleaning out old things and you find something with their handwriting on it, it's like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like, that's them. That's who they are.
Okay, not to get like so dark.
Okay.
But sometimes I think about it in the reversal. When I write like a birthday note on a card and I like sign it off saying like love you, like Anna or something, I think like if I die, will this person get this tattooed on themselves? I have to make sure it looks good.
Right. Okay.
So keep that in mind next time I give you a birthday card.
One of our friends, Trey, he has a situation. This is also dark, where he says like, you know how after you pass away, there's a picture of you, your obituary picture or something like that, or what they have at a funeral. Has that picture been taken for you?
Oh my God.
Yeah. And every time he asks that, I'm like, oh my gosh, that is like the deepest, hardest, darkest question ever.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I hope it hasn't. I hope not.
I hope it hasn't, but simultaneously, even if I'm lucky enough to make it to an old age, I kind of want a young photo.
Like, you definitely have pictures taken that are going to be included in the slideshow.
Yeah.
But like the picture? Oof.
And who?
I hope not.
No, can't do that. I'm going to talk to him about that tomorrow.
Yeah.
So sometimes whenever I'm shopping at the grocery store, I do see the older people and they're usually older gentlemen with a handwritten grocery list from the wife who's sending them to the store. And anytime I see that, or like I'll see one left in the cart, I don't want to get rid of it because of this song.
Yeah.
I know it's not sentimental to me, but what if that person comes back for it? I'm not going to throw this out. There's something, but then I also kind of chuckle because I'm like, I just have everything written on my phone, but also you're the one that's so cute. That's so cute to have written out grocery receipts still.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and she also continues here in the bridge. Watched you sign your name, Marjorie, and that's when she's signing it in the Eras Tour. Watched you sign your name, Marjorie, all your closets of backlogged dreams, and how you left them all to me.
Aww.
So the color yellow is associated with Marjorie. That's what Taylor Swift wore in the Wildest Dreams music video where she's representing her grandma. And there was no yellow color ever tied to her albums, but she's used that seemingly with her grandmother a lot. And in the Lover music video, whenever she's walking up to the attic, there's a row of yellow clothes right there.
Oh,
and
really?
they think that was ode to her grandmother and maybe her closet of backlog dreams.
Oh, I have to rewatch that. That just gave me the chills.
Wow. Taylor continues. She goes back into the chorus again. What died didn't stay dead. What died didn't stay dead. You're alive. You're alive in my head. What died didn't stay dead. What died didn't stay dead. You're alive, so alive. And if I didn't know better, I think you were singing to me now.
And that's when you can hear
where
her.
she starts singing.
That's when she starts singing that beautiful opera. And it's just, at first it was so kind of unexpected. And I didn't really know what was going on. So you got to look it up. Like, what is this? Like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
How cool.
And it's because she's living out her grandmother's dreams and including her grandmother in the biggest stadiums she's ever performed in. Because this song isn't a go-to fan favorite. People know it and know it more now because of the Eras Tour. The first time I heard it on the Eras Tour, I had to ask Amy. I was like, oh no, what song is this? I'm not really familiar. But I think that's why she put it on the Eras Tour, was to have her grandma perform there. And how incredible is that?
So incredible. And I also, now I'm kind of questioning, because you said it, this song and her grandma being associated with the color yellow. For some reason, was there an edit? Or was it in the Eras Tour movie, or will it be in the documentary or something? But why am I having some sort of memory of the part where Taylor writes the name Marjorie in the air with her finger? Why do I feel like there's gold, sparkly glitter attached to it?
Yeah, I feel like it's the gold sparkly in the Eras Tour.
Gold sparkly.
When she's singing it in the
Was that in an edit or something in the concert film? Why am I imagining that?
I don't know.
I'll have to check that. Also, just so excited for the docuseries.
Yeah, maybe we'll get to know in the docuseries why she chose this song over others, because I'm sure there were other more popular ones, and maybe she'll say some of these things.
I have to assume probably for the reasons that you said, right? To be able to hear her grandma's voice.
Yeah.
What were you saying? Lacey?
And the fact that fans made this a special moment for her as well. Fans started holding up lights on their phone.
Yeah.
And she called them a million little stars. They would hold up pictures of her grandmother and she would notice. And there's a video of her mom, Andrea, holding up a picture of her mom and crying during that song. But how beautiful to remember, and now a lot of people are remembering and thinking because of Taylor Swift and Marjorie Finlay.
Yeah. Marjorie Finlay, that was her name?
Yep.
Finlay was her last name? Because Kitty, is that what you were talking about earlier, Lacey?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Because in the life of a showgirl, and she did mention her grandmother in an interview, but the life of a showgirl, the last song, it's about a star named Kitty. And someone's admiring this star and thinking, I want your life, I want this, and finally meets her and the girl's like, you do not want this. You do not want the life of a showgirl. But in the music video, there's a what do you call that? Cut.
A clapperboard?
Yeah, something, whatever.
Slate?
Cut. They have that, and it has Kitty Finlay on it. And Taylor revealed that Kitty is the name of her dog, her mom's massive dog.
Great Dane.
Oh, yeah, Big Great Dane. I remember seeing videos of that dog.
Mm-hmm. And she said, Kitty's important to her mom, so that's important to her too. And then Finlay to an ode to her grandmother.
Can we also talk about just the comedic genius of naming a Great Dane Kitty?
Yeah.
Pretty funny. Andrea Swift's a funny lady. And if I didn't know better, I think you were singing to me now. If I didn't know better, I think you were still around. I know better, but I still feel you all around. I know better, but you're still around.
Oh,
Isn't that sweet?
yeah. I mean, because the entire song, she's like, if I didn't know better. And then at the end, it's like, I do know better, but you're still around.
Yeah. I know you're not here, but you are still here.
But you are.
Yeah.
She's saying that she's going to do everything in her power to keep her memory alive, which I think she has absolutely succeeded in. Mm-hmm. What a beautiful song.
Love it. Amazing. Great.
And she still likes to honor those who are no longer with us. I mean, in the life of a showgirl, now she's honoring her friend who passed away as well and ruined the friendship, keeping that memory alive through song and through telling others. Oh, and if you watch the lyric video for Marjorie, there's home footage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah.
That's really precious.
Okay.
Anna, what's the most incredible thing you've learned about Elizabeth Taylor since you've been in your journey of the past because of Taylor Swift?
So Elizabeth Taylor, quite the socialite, has a really crazy, cool story that I cannot wait to dive into when we break down the song. But her relationship with Richard Burton is like really what goes down in history, I would say. I mean, a lot that she did. But something that I thought was really cool was, or not really cool, I mean, kind of sad. Hold on, let me pull up the lyrics real quick. So when Richard Burton, I think it was Richard Burton, so he used to write a lot of letters to Elizabeth Taylor, like just handwritten letters, but they weren't opened. He like gave them to her, or for some, I'd have to fact check them. I'm going just top of dome here. But she didn't open them until after he passed. And that's why it says, and if your letters ever said goodbye, I'd cry my eyes out violet, because it's like, if these letters that I have now that I haven't opened, if one of them says goodbye, like there could be nothing more heartbreaking than that.
Oh, wow.
So if you actually, ElizabethTaylor, like .com, like her estate and her family, they have the lyrics to the song, and they have kind of like a breakdown lyric by lyric and how they relate back to Elizabeth Taylor's life. And so there are a lot of parallels between Elizabeth Taylor's life and Taylor Swift's life, which is really cool. But in the way that Taylor Swift was able to incorporate it in the context of Elizabeth Taylor, I think is so incredible. It's really just like a fun thing. If you want to go look at that. But I'm excited for our episode about it, so we'll really get into the nitty gritty.
And I love how she has references for everybody, because the very first time I heard Elizabeth Taylor, I heard White Diamonds, and I was like, that's the name of her perfume. I remember my grandmother wearing that perfume, but someone else that could just go right past them and the lyrics still make sense. But that perked up my old ears immediately. I was like, my grandmother had that. I remember that.
Yeah. So I'm really enjoying it.
Well, I loved getting to learn about Marjorie with you two ladies. So thank you so much for listening to us on this episode of 13, a Taylor Swift Fan Podcast. If you haven't already, subscribe to us on whatever podcasting platform you're listening to us on right now. All the ways to contact us are in the description of this podcast. And join us next time. We're breaking down track number 14. We're getting close to the end, guys.
That's crazy.
So what are we doing next?
Next is Closure.
But what are we doing after Evermore?
Wow, if only we had another Taylor Swift album to get into.
Thanks for listening to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. Subscribe for free and leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.